Hey guys, today we'll be doing a YouTube video comparison of the iPhone and DS versions of Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles. What you may see right away is that the iPhone version on the left looks much better than the DS version on the right, and this is in part due to the extra year of developing time the iPhone version had. So there is a larger color palette and things are a bit more crisp and sharp on the iPhone. So as you notice as we go through this demo, you might see slight differences that appear, but ultimately the iPhone version is better than the DS version, so if you're planning to buy, go for the iPhone version. Now I found that the on-screen controls for the iPhone version were not as precise as the ones for the DS, since the ones for the DS are physical buttons. I will try to make this jump, but Altair can't do it properly. He has to do a step up. This is in part due to the slightly imprecise controls. So here you will see a balance beam sort of section that Altair has to walk through. And the mechanics for this are slightly different on both versions. On the iPhone you have to stop and wait if Altair loses his balance. On the DS version you pull the R trigger and Altair automatically walks. This makes him impervious to losing balance, so he cannot fall. And this doesn't really make a difference on which version you prefer. The DS mechanic is slightly faster to work with, but it's not a huge advantage. So as you go ahead here, you will see that Altair is walking in both sections, and on the DS again it's done with the R trigger, and on the iPhone you pull the analog stick halfway out instead of full. So here you will see text at the bottom, and it's all fully voiced, which is really nice. And here we come to the first minigame. This is the pickpocket minigame. So we're going to come up to it on the DS on the right, and it's already up on the iPhone on the left. So you will notice that things are a little larger on the iPhone and a little more crisp. And on the DS it also asks you if you're left-handed or right-handed. On the iPhone it does not. And here the minigame, on the iPhone you only have to do once, as you saw, and on the DS you will have to do it twice. What you will notice is that things generally are harder on the DS, no matter what it is, platforming or minigame wise. In the minigame, the coins on the DS move, whereas on the iPhone it's stationary. But I don't know why they did that, but things are definitely a little easier on iPhone than they are on DS. And here we come to the section on the iPhone on the left, where you will notice Altair gets his first sword, and again it's fully voiced. And it's nice, even if the dialogue is slightly corny, but it's nice to have the voice option. The DS, on the other hand, just has typed text. And right now on the DS you'll see a mini-map that shows all the characters in your area and Altair. This mini-map is definitely a bonus for the DS because you can see enemies that are up ahead. This helps you plan your strategy of attack. But on the iPhone it lacks this addition, or it's not present right away like it is on DS for you to see. So here we come to a small platforming section, and you will notice that, well, I don't know if you can see from the video, but platforming is a little easier on the DS than it is on iPhone due to tangible buttons. But the developers smartly made up for this with larger gaps for you to walk on and larger platforms. Here's another slight difference. You will notice that the spikes on top of this roof are wooden and kind of textured on the iPhone, and on the DS they're a metal that is much less pretty than the wooden spikes. So as we go on, there will be more platforming ahead. And again, it is a little tighter on the DS, but the iPhone version is easy to get used to enough that you will be able to do it after a couple of run-throughs through a level, or through a couple of levels rather. So here we come across this bridge, and you will see how the developers helped make it easier on iPhone. On the DS, the gaps between the spikes are extremely small. On the iPhone, they're much larger. This is to help the looser controls make it easier for you to walk. And I'm glad the developers did that, so it's easier. Here again, you will see it. Once again, the platform is a little larger on the iPhone, so that you are able to land more accurately. And here we come to the section on the DS where you gain your sword. And we already went through that section on iPhone, so I'll just run past this guard and go into a loading screen. So here's the DS version of the fight that we did earlier. I think the animations for fighting are a little better on the iPhone, just because everything is more clear. So here we are at the full screen DS version, and this is kind of the second section of this demo. You will see that Altair has to fight several guards here, and as we go through the section you will see fire effects in the background, and this kind of fire rain that's coming down. And also you will notice effects on the screen that are in the form of like ash dots kind of thing that that really enhances the game. I enjoyed these effects very much, but they are missing on the iPhone. Again, you'll see that these drops of kind of fire rain are really large here, and they are much smaller on the iPhone, just another minute difference. So here we come to the section where it teaches you to counterattack. Again, I found this easier on the DS due to tangible buttons. So the physical controls on DS are definitely a plus, but nothing that can be overcome with a little learning on the iPhone. So throughout the section, I will try and do several counterattacks, and they do work a little better on DS. So once again, take notice of the fire and ash effects that are on screen, as the ash effect won't be there for the iPhone version. So here you come to several more guards in this section, and I will try a counterattack here. It does take me a couple of tries still on the DS. Oh, there it is. And for those of you who are deciding which version to buy or download, rather, you will see that I advise you to get the iPhone version, or the iPod Touch version, rather, depending on which one you have, because it is much cheaper, and the game just looks better, and that's definitely the biggest draw to getting it on iPhone. So here we go through the iPhone section. So once again, the platforming is easy enough to get used to on iPhone that you won't have trouble with it. And again, the fighting is as well easy to get used to after a couple of levels or so. So here you'll see that Altair will kick this platform. There's a button that comes up right here that you have to kick with. This button is action specific on the iPhone, and on the DS you can do it at any time. Though I didn't find much use for it on DS, it's hard to use in battle and not very efficient. But back to the topic of which game to get, I think the iPhone is definitely superior in this, even if it is a little easier than the DS version. But it's definitely the version you should be getting. So I will finish up this demo pretty soon. Another couple of seconds, well, 30 seconds or so actually. And I do attempt a couple of counterattacks on the iPhone, but it is a little harder, but it's easy enough to get used to. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of video look at the two versions, and I definitely hope I helped you out in which version to get, or if you already have one, I guess I showed you what the previous version looked like on DS, and what an extra year of development can do for the iPhone version.